I looked at my wife, who was touching her stomach with a cold expression, and couldn't help but shake my head and snort softly. Sophia Taylor. Oh, Sophia Taylor, you deserve to have no children. Today is the 3rd anniversary of my marriage to Sophia Taylor. From afternoon until evening, I was busy preparing the dishes, setting the table, and lighting the scented candle she liked. I looked at the carefully prepared candlelit dinner on the table, feeling a little eager for her to come home. Ding! I heard the sound of the lock opening. I hurried to the door and prepared the slippers. The door opened. I was stunned. My wife Sophia Taylor had returned, but there was a man standing beside her. The man had delicate features. He looked every bit the pretty boy. My wife was gently linked with his arm, looking intimate and affectionate. I instantly felt as if I were standing inside an ice cellar. Sophia Taylor frowned at me and, supporting the man, went through the door. This was a tenderness I hadn't felt in a long time. I looked down at myself, dressed like a homemaker, still wearing the apron I hadn't had time to take off. Watching the two people sitting on the sofa, I finally couldn't help but ask, Sophia, is this your friend? Ethan Johnson, let's get a divorce. Her tone was icy, without the slightest preamble. Those cold words were like sharp blades that pierced my heart, as if my innards were torn apart in that moment. Staring at my wife's still delicate face, I suddenly fell into bewilderment. Sophia, don't joke like that. I'm not joking. This is Cole Zimmerman. I'm already pregnant with his child. It felt as if all the blood in my body froze in an instant, my heart weighed down by a massive stone, making it hard to breathe. I took 2 steps back, my body went limp, and I sank down to the ground. To have a child of our own, the hospital had already become my second home. Enduring the cold stares and ridicule of others, I discovered she had a child with someone else, which I could not accept. I've always yearned to have a child. We've been married 3 years, and you have never been able to fulfill my wish to become a mother. Is that your reason for betraying me? Faced with my questioning, Sophia Taylor showed no expression and continued stating her words. If I didn't have a child, the family wouldn't let me continue to control Taylor Corporation. Now I'm pregnant, so you intend for me to step down, is that it? I looked at the man who had remained silent the whole time. The corner of his mouth lifted slightly. He watched me like a victor, and the contempt in his eyes stung. I didn't think twice and swung a fist violently at that face I loathed. That's enough. Sophia Taylor grabbed my arm tightly with both hands and gave a sharp push. I staggered. Look at you now. A man acting like a shrew. I looked up at Sophia Taylor. The disdain in her eyes was like a sharp sword, piercing me deeply. My ears were filled with reproaches and Cole Zimmerman's nauseating consolations. I gripped my molars tightly, forcing myself to calm down. We walked through a full 10 years. I watched with my own eyes as she gradually took over the behemoth that is Taylor Corporation. She was an aloof person, curt and cold, but I didn't care about any of that because I loved her. In high school, she was admitted directly with the top score in the city, becoming the school's universally recognized academic prodigy. My interaction with her began in the first month of freshman year. I was walking home from school along the path to the Los Angeles Children's Home. I saw 2 local school bullies stop her. Oh, isn't this Sophia Taylor, the famously good student? The one with yellow-dyed hair grinned like a brat. Be my girlfriend. I looked at the girl, forcing calm while holding back from mocking tones. I don't know you. Please move aside. I'm leaving. But they tightened the blockade even more. Soon, the 2 had cornered her into a dead end. Ethan Johnson. The girl, in despair, saw me. She stood in the shadows, wearing a school uniform, with neat short hair and a tall figure. Ethan Johnson, I don't know them. Hearing what she said, I picked up the brick from the ground and walked over slowly. The blonde kid looked at me with a face full of disdain. Don't meddle. I grabbed Sophia Taylor and pulled her behind me. Stand to the side for a moment. Then I swung a brick straight at the blonde's head. He dodged, but I kicked him and sent him sprawling to the ground. I quietly watched the girl in front of me. From that moment on, I watched that girl for 10 years and loved her for 10 years. I thought that the 2 of us could go very, very far. But now she has a child with another man. Those 10 years of feelings ultimately couldn't outweigh the weight of a child. Sophia Taylor had always believed that I was the one who couldn't have children. But the opposite was true. She was suffering from premature ovarian failure. I still remember what the doctor told me. The man in the white coat held the medical report. Mr. Johnson, your wife has premature ovarian failure. The chance of pregnancy is very small. I stood there stunned, took a deep breath, and steadied my emotions. Is there any other way? A child is very important to us. We can do IVF, but the success rate is only 10%. You need to be prepared mentally. It won't be easy. Okay, no problem. It doesn't matter how many times. Thank you, doctor, thank you. I comforted myself. The doctor sighed and shook his head. I was afraid Sophia Taylor would be upset, so I asked the doctor to withhold her results and hid the medical report. But what happened? She thought it was my fault. I worked hard to keep this family together, and she went out and found a mistress and got pregnant. How ridiculous. Sophia Taylor, do you know? It isn't that I'm unworthy of you. It's that you failed to match me. The next morning, I went to Sophia Taylor's company to tell her the truth. However, what I saw was unexpected. Sophia Taylor, the woman who had always been indifferent to small animals, was now holding an adorably cute Bichon Frise. And Cole Zimmerman was standing nearby, smiling and teasing. The two of them looked like a loving married couple. I clearly remember that it was her indifference to small animals that made me give up my beloved career as a veterinary doctor. Cole Zimmerman noticed me standing behind Sophia Taylor. His eyes narrowed slightly, but his smile only grew brighter. He deliberately moved closer to Sophia Taylor, and their intimacy became all the more conspicuous. I cleared my throat softly, trying to attract Sophia Taylor's attention, but Cole Zimmerman beat me to it, turning his warm gaze toward me. Ethan, you're here. His tone was intimate, making me break out in goosebumps. Mr. Zimmerman must have mistaken me for someone else. I'm not your brother, I replied. Sophia Taylor's voice sounded slightly displeased. Ethan Johnson. Cole Zimmerman held Sophia Taylor's hand and gently comforted her. Sophia, I'm fine. Then he whispered in my ear, Ethan Johnson, you're only humiliating yourself. He immediately reverted to that considerate demeanor of his. Ethan, Sophia asked me to move in with her. After all, she's carrying my child, and this will make it easier for me to take care of her. He said confidently. I stared at him steadily, my tone laden with meaning. Oh, her child. And you're so full of confidence. A flash of panic crossed Cole Zimmerman's eyes. His hand unconsciously tightened, making my arm go bright red. I shoved him away. He staggered back exaggeratedly, fell to the ground, and Sophia Taylor hurried forward to help him up. Cole Zimmerman looked utterly innocent and aggrieved. Sophia Taylor's face was ashen as she snapped. What are you doing running in here like a madman this early? Get out. I looked at my former lover, swallowed the words I hadn't finished, and turned to leave. I thought to myself, for such a loving couple, I wondered what the scene would be like when the truth was revealed. I was full of anticipation. Hello, Ethan Johnson. I'm Cole Zimmerman. There are some things I need to talk to you about. We have nothing to say to each other. I was about to hang up the phone. Don't be hasty. This matter concerns Sophia Taylor. I suppose he was unsettled by my words last time. Perhaps he thought I had learned some secret. Fine. I wanted to probe his true feelings anyway. He arrived as promised. He was already waiting for me. Say what you need to say straight out. Don't waste each other's time. Nothing special. I just wanted to have a good conversation with you. You homewrecker. What could we possibly have to talk about? I sneered. Recently, Sophia has been mentioning you a lot, saying how kind you used to be and how you took care of her. I almost doubted his intelligence. At such a critical moment, he still tried to play the feelings card to sway me. Don't mention her anymore. I'm not interested. If there's nothing else, I'll take my leave now. Ethan Johnson, since your feelings for her have faded, I suggest you leave here and start over in another city. I will provide enough US dollars to ensure you never worry for the rest of your life. You are absolutely outrageous, you usurping third party. Now you want to drive me out of this city? You have some nerve. His words sparked my anger. Why should I live according to their wishes? Whether it's Sophia Taylor or Cole Zimmerman, I will no longer be manipulated by anyone. We already have a child. You staying in this city makes me uneasy. Cole Zimmerman finally spoke his true feelings. I knew he was worried. Uneasy? Actually, it's not me who makes you uneasy, is it? I sneered, a sharp edge hidden in my words. What exactly do you know? I didn't answer. I stood up and left. At the coffee shop entrance, Cole Zimmerman came running up, out of breath. Wait, Ethan Johnson, make yourself clear. At that moment, Sophia Taylor also ran over anxiously. Ethan Johnson, can you be a man and stop bothering me? Hearing her words, I couldn't be bothered to argue. I snatched the sleeve that Cole Zimmerman had grabbed. He exaggeratedly stumbled backward and collided with the rushing Sophia Taylor. Before I could react, Sophia Taylor had already fallen down the steps. My child, in the hospital. Looking at Sophia Taylor lying quietly on the hospital bed, her eyes tightly shut, I fell into deep contemplation. All of this happened so abruptly that I couldn't help but cast a suspicious glance at Cole Zimmerman. But now I had no way to defend myself. She on the bed slowly opened her eyes, and at the same time, a harsh accusation rang out. "It was you, Ethan Johnson. You killed my child." Her voice was full of sorrow and resentment. "It has nothing to do with me." A chill filled my heart. This was the woman I once loved, and she ignored my defense. "How can you be so cruel? Even if you hold a grudge against me, you shouldn't have hurt my child." Her accusation was as sharp as a knife. "Say that again. This had nothing to do with me." My explanation sounded weak and pale. "Claire Zimmerman, Cole Zimmerman's sister, said you were the one who arranged to meet him. Did you plan this in advance?" No sooner had she finished speaking than the ward door was pushed open and two policemen walked in. "Mr. Johnson, Mr. Zimmerman accuses you of murder. Please come with us to assist with the investigation." "Is that what you think too?" "Yes." I stood frozen. My wife actually intended to send me to prison. Beyond my astonishment, I sensed a trace of conspiracy, which quietly confirmed my suspicion. I looked at Sophia Taylor coldly. "Do you really intend to send me to prison?" She struggled, hands reaching for me, eyes bloodshot like a demon from hell. "You should pay with your life for my child." The police quickly restrained Sophia Taylor. Looking at this familiar woman before me, I felt a mix of estrangement and revulsion. 10 years of feelings couldn't buy a shred of trust. I covered my face and let out a loud laugh. My gaze shadowed as I looked at her. "Pay with your life? Fine, I accept." When I questioned whether the surveillance equipment had been examined by the police's answer was that the surveillance equipment had been damaged and the evidence no longer existed. At that moment, I reached a conclusion. It must have been Cole Zimmerman who secretly plotted to frame me. Everything had unfolded exactly as he had carefully planned, leading me step by step into the trap. Yet it was only now that I suddenly realized it, too late. And the final blow that shoved me into the abyss came from Sophia Taylor. As my legal spouse, she testified against me herself. As expected, I was sentenced to 3 years imprisonment for intentional injury. I offered no resistance, because I knew resistance would be futile. Sophia Taylor is a powerful force in Los Angeles. I cannot contend with her. This only strengthened my resolve for revenge. "Sophia Taylor, since you are so heartless, then don't blame me. 3 years, I can wait." The plan for revenge had gradually taken shape in my mind. On the eve of my impending imprisonment, Cole Zimmerman appeared before me. "Ethan Johnson, I gave you opportunities. You failed to cherish them yourself. So you have no one to blame but yourself," he said, a victor smile on his face, tossing a divorce agreement onto the table. "Sophia refuses to see you, so I'll be the villain for this. Sign here." Perfect, even if she doesn't speak. I was going to bring this up. "Give her that lousy ring too." I signed, then took the ring off my finger. Cole Zimmerman looked on, his face full of smugness. "But I won't let him get carried away just yet. You think you've won? Only the one who can give her a child has the right to be master of this household. You're nothing but a dog." My words seemed to enrage Cole Zimmerman. He snarled and said, "Don't worry. In prison I prepared a surprise for you." As expected, I spent 3 bitter years in prison. The hardships I endured are beyond words. When it came to food, I received the worst treatment. Every day's meal was either coarse corn buns or spoiled vegetable soup. As for rice and steamed bread, they were a rare sight all year round. I bore the heaviest burden when it came to labor. I did almost twice as much work as others and was often required to stay behind and work overtime. Every so often I was even beaten. My left index finger was literally crushed and broken by someone stepping on it. I didn't report to the supervisors because I knew no one would help me. I could only be like a lone wolf, licking my wounds alone in the dead of night. When my body and mind were on the brink of collapse, I met Archie Miller. His encouragement let me glimpse a sliver of hope in that dark prison. We became friends who shared everything. I endured it all because I would give it all back to him and to her. That's how I survived 3 years and finally got out of prison. I returned to the house I had bought with all my savings. Skin and bone hands picked up the diary and began to plan the revenge to come. Because I had often been home alone before, I gradually developed the habit of keeping a diary, recording every moment between her and me. Now, the diary should turn to a new chapter. "Sophia Taylor, I will make you regret what you did today, because the prelude to revenge has already begun." I can hardly imagine what emotions you'll feel when you discover that you've been deceived. Anger? Despair? I'm looking forward to it. You've already fired the first shot in this invisible war. It shouldn't end so quickly. I successfully contacted that Dr. Robert Lewis and obtained Sophia Taylor's medical examination report from back then. Next up was Cole Zimmerman. For 2 straight weeks, I followed Cole Zimmerman's daily movements closely, but I never found anything. His life was painfully monotonous, either at the office or at home. Yeah, I didn't believe in such a sissy who'd risen through women. Be able to live a quiet life with Sophia Taylor. Sure enough, a few days later, Cole Zimmerman finally slipped up. He went straight from the office to a budget hotel. I showed a trace of a triumphant smile. How could a cat resist the temptation of fishy scent? I waited there patiently for about an hour. Finally, Cole Zimmerman walked out of the hotel accompanied by a long-haired woman. I quickly found a hidden corner, raised my camera, and fired the shutter repeatedly at the woman's face. Then I hired a private investigator to conduct an in-depth investigation into this woman. The woman's name is Lily Parker. She works as a rack girl at a billiard hall and has an ambiguous relationship with Cole Zimmerman. The PI was extremely efficient and even verified the records of the hotel rooms the two had used one by one. I couldn't help but laugh. Sophia Taylor. Sophia Taylor. You cheated, and the mistress you found cheated too. What a lame donkey match with a broken millstone. Once I had everything ready, I got through to Cole Zimmerman's number. Do you remember me? You are Ethan Johnson. You've been released. The other person was silent for a moment before his voice slowly came through. It seems I'm free. You're not pleased. Indeed, that was to be expected. How about we meet? What do you intend to do? Cole Zimmerman sounded somewhat alarmed. Sure enough, having done something wrong, one fears being haunted by evil spirits, let alone a demon returned from hell. Why not meet? Let's have a good talk about Sophia Taylor. I held his lifeline, well aware that mentioning Sophia Taylor would surely bring him to meet me. The same old cafe. I hung up without hesitation. This time, it was my turn to wait for him. He had just sat down. I want to ask about someone. Who is Lily Parker? The moment his words fell, his handsome face immediately lost color, looking extremely pale. I was certain my guess was correct. He suddenly grabbed my hand. What do you know? When asking someone for help, you should have the demeanor of someone asking for help. First, let go of my hand. He had no choice but to let go. Not only do I know Lily Parker, I also know for certain that Sophia Taylor was never pregnant. I looked at his anxious expression and couldn't help laughing out loud. Suddenly, I felt a pleasure I had never experienced before. Cole Zimmerman, you and Sophia Taylor are truly a match made in heaven. He took a deep breath and finally spoke. Ethan Johnson, tell me, how many dollars do you need? I can give you any amount, any conditions, just name them. You're always like Sophia Taylor, talking only about dollars and cents. I have no interest in your money. Please, Ethan Johnson, I know I was wrong before. I beg you, let me go. Don't let Sophia find out the truth. Are you afraid? Fear is deserved. Actually, death itself isn't terrible. What's frightening is the process of waiting for it. I ignored his pleas and stood, leaving the table. Open the window. Look up at that clear sky. Apologize? I don't need that. What I want is to see you tear each other apart. After my extensive investigation, Sophia Taylor and Cole Zimmerman's marriage had fallen into an awkward state. After losing their child, their relationship became a sham, and Silas Quinn appeared by Sophia Taylor's side. Romantic prospects kept coming her way. But was this luck or disaster? Watching Cole Zimmerman's shameless, unwilling to leave look, I couldn't help but laugh, wondering what kind of charm Sophia Taylor possessed. I pressed that number that filled me with disgust. Hello, I'm Ethan Johnson. 3 years in prison made me unusually calm. Even when I heard that voice I hated with a passion, my tone remained steady. You're out. It seems Cole Zimmerman didn't tell you. Come out and meet me. I made the request directly. What's worth seeing? Talk about the abortion you had back then. In the afterglow of the setting sun, I stood on the university athletic field where I had once proposed to Sophia Taylor. The woman before me had delicate features, willow leaf eyebrows, a tall figure, and graceful curves. However, no matter how beautiful her appearance, it could not hide the ugliness within her heart. What exactly are you trying to say? She spoke first. Are you in a hurry? Cut the crap, Ethan Johnson. I just want to know, regarding your miscarriage back then, don't you find it at all suspicious? Why should I find it suspicious? You never gave me a chance to explain back then. Didn't you ever think it might all be too much of a coincidence? She fell into thought after hearing that. I looked at her and shook my head. Perhaps the child's death had left her mind in turmoil at the time. Sophia Taylor, why were you so sure back then that it was me who couldn't have children? What? Her face instantly darkened. It wasn't you, could it be me? Then why could Cole Zimmerman get me pregnant, you? Long time no see. Here's a little reunion gift for you. Before she could finish speaking, I handed her medical report and the evidence of Cole Zimmerman's affair together. Look, she looked somewhat surprised, bowed her head, and quietly flipped through it. After a while, her brows knitted tightly, her hands gripped the evidence, her body trembled, and I could hear her grinding her teeth. The child I've always longed for is fake? Ha ha! Her terrifying laughter and ferocious expression intensified the sense of pleasure in my heart. Sophia Taylor, sometimes the less you believe, the more it's the truth. I straightened my trench coat, turned my back to the afterglow of the setting sun, and walked away slowly. I had only taken a couple of steps when I collided headlong with Cole Zimmerman, who had rushed over. He hurriedly got up without paying attention to me and rushed straight towards Sophia Taylor. With a big scene about to unfold, I wasn't in a hurry to leave either. Sophia, what are you doing here? Cole Zimmerman, just like before, looked at Sophia Taylor with a gentle expression and spoke softly. But actually it wasn't so. Looking closely, you could see a trace of nervousness and unease in his eyes. Smack! A loud slap landed on Cole Zimmerman's face. It hurt even to watch. Sophia Taylor breathed rapidly, her voice trembling, and threw the evidence in her hand at his face. Why don't you just die? I could feel her uncontrollable pain and despair. After all, she had abandoned her husband and given up her family for this child, only to be met with betrayal. Besides, the most important thing, the child, is fake. Heh, that feeling must be unbearable. I watched everything unfold with a blank face. I suddenly felt a bit sorry for her, but more than that was the thrill of revenge. Sophia, let me explain. Cole Zimmerman was completely panicked. After going to great lengths to marry Sophia Taylor, he certainly couldn't give up so easily. He knelt on the ground like a dog, clutching at Sophia Taylor's pant leg, wagging his tail and begging pitifully. Don't let me see you again. Sophia Taylor grabbed his hair and drove her high heel hard into his chest. I watched the scene with great interest, my hand almost reaching for some popcorn. These photos are all fabricated. Ethan Johnson must be framing me. Well done. And at a time like this, you still don't forget to smear me. Do you think I'm stupid? Get out now, or don't blame me for being rude. Sophia Taylor's gaze grew even colder. Cole Zimmerman collapsed completely to the ground, but Sophia Taylor remained unmoved. I know her too well. If you cheat on her, don't expect pity. If you were to die in front of her now, she wouldn't feel an ounce of compassion. Sophia Taylor, now you know what betrayal tastes like. Forgiving and forgetting is hypocritical. I like the wheel of fortune to turn. I keep being my pet's veterinarian. Every day I treat kittens and puppies, and along the way I heal my own broken soul. Seeing these little ones recover genuinely makes me happy. Sometimes I really feel people are worse than dogs. I didn't rush off to do anything else, because I knew that even if I didn't go looking for trouble, trouble would find me on its own. The evidence from Sophia Taylor was like a spark. I believe this spark can start a wildfire. Sure enough, Cole Zimmerman's call came. I was waiting for this moment. Ethan Johnson, what exactly are you trying to do? All I could hear was laughter. Didn't do anything, just let her know some of the truth from back then. You bastard. Destroying someone else's family. And you still have the nerve to call me a bastard? Then what are you? I toyed with the dog beside me while listening to his agitated voice. Where are you? I'm looking for you. I stood up and looked into the distance. All right, come on. I'll treat this male green tea to some tea. On the second floor of the tea house, Cole Zimmerman looked at me. You came back on purpose to get revenge, didn't you, Ethan Johnson? His face was bruised. No need to guess who did it. He pointed at me as he spoke. You only just realized that, Mr. Zimmerman. I provoked him on purpose. You go find Sophia Taylor right now and tell her everything you just said was a lie. Ha ha ha, are you out of your mind? Do you think she'll believe that now? I sneered at Cole Zimmerman. What can I do? Sophia Taylor wants a divorce from me. I'll have nothing left. Did you ever think about me back then? I was driven homeless by you too. I spent 3 years in prison. I raised my left index finger. This finger was broken in prison. Tell me, should I not take revenge on you? After speaking, I ignored Cole Zimmerman's screams and turned to leave. Just as I was going down the stairs, I heard hurried footsteps behind me. I was prepared and didn't look back. After a dizzying moment, I tumbled down the stairs. I lay on the ground and looked up at Cole Zimmerman. He curled his lips in a mocking smile and pointed at his head. Mr. Zimmerman, there's surveillance here. The next time I saw Sophia Taylor was in the hospital room. The police were taking my statement. After they left, I asked her, Ms. Taylor, what a rare guest. She hesitated, clearly finding it hard to say, which surprised me. Ethan Johnson, could you spare Cole Zimmerman this time? Her words took me by surprise. Oh, you really have a broad mind. You could tolerate being cheated on. Shouldn't you hate him? I deliberately provoked her. You? She struggled to suppress her anger. I have an important project on hand that can be affected. After it's finished, I'll give you an answer. Let me go easy on him, only if you take his place in prison. I shifted to lie more comfortably, thinking, let me go easy on Cole Zimmerman. Might as well dream. Ethan Johnson, do you think I have no way out? Ms. Taylor, the evidence is on the table. Let's see if you can turn this around. After speaking, I closed my eyes. A month later, I was discharged. First, I went to see Cole Zimmerman, just like he had looked at me all those years ago. Cole Zimmerman, did you ever think it would come to this when you looked at me back then? Ethan Johnson, you bastard, you framed me on purpose. I slapped him, cutting him off. Don't talk nonsense. You pushed me down the stairs yourself. Nobody forced you. I'm going to kill you. Watching the out-of-control Cole Zimmerman, I smiled with satisfaction. This is exactly why I came here. I won't accept mediation. You can rest assured you'll go to prison. Impossible. Sophia will save me. Your Sophia hates you to the core. She'd jump at the chance to divorce you. If I were you, I'd find a good lawyer right now and fight for as much of the assets as possible. No. Divorce, prison. He retraced the path I had walked. I heard Sophia Taylor is truly ruthless. She used special means to transfer all the assets into Silas Quinn's name. She didn't give Cole Zimmerman a single cent, forcing him to leave with nothing. And she did it to punish Cole Zimmerman for cheating on her. She would never let him have it easy. She used every means while in prison. Cole Zimmerman was tormented and bullied here in this ruthless place from morning till night every day, to the point that he was driven mad, lost his mind, and was sent to a psychiatric hospital. Now things were well and truly different. Never mind 3 years. I suppose I'll probably have to spend the rest of my life in a psychiatric hospital. This woman is chillingly heartless. Just as Sophia Taylor was unleashing her anger at Cole Zimmerman, I wasn't idle either. I was constantly preparing my next revenge plan. After my unremitting efforts, I finally gathered evidence of Sophia Taylor's 2 affairs. I will make the Taylor Corporation infamous in this city, reviled by all. No one will ever seek to partner with her again. Next, I spent a fortune in dollars to push her affairs onto the trending searches, and recruited several big influencers to attack her verbally and in writing. It instantly sparked a huge uproar. The scandal of a well-known female entrepreneur cheating was something many people loved to see. The name Sophia Taylor suddenly found herself at the center of the storm. Her big project, which was Taylor Corporation's postcard to other countries, naturally collapsed. Sophia Taylor couldn't sit still. The next day she asked to meet me, and I agreed. When she arrived and saw Silas Quinn beside me, the surprise in her eyes pleased me greatly. How are you here? I asked Silas to come. You meeting your ex-husband. How could your current husband not know? I looked at Sophia Taylor's expression as if she'd swallowed a fly and couldn't help laughing out loud. Ethan Johnson, you made such a scene. What exactly do you want? I'm not surprised she knew I was the mastermind behind it, but I don't believe she can turn public opinion around because everything I said is true. What do I want? I want you to be ruined and disgraced. I looked at her without a trace of feeling and said. She gave a light laugh. Ethan Johnson, should I call you naive or stagnant? Do you think I've, Sophia Taylor, wasted all these years for nothing? Oh, I still have dollars, and with some connections I can quickly suppress this. You have to know the internet has no memory. And then, there is no then. Your dollars are gone. Sophia Taylor, your reputation is ruined, and you'll immediately be cast off by your family. At that moment, Silas Quinn suddenly stood up and reached out his hand to Sophia Taylor. Let me reintroduce myself. Ethan Johnson's cellmate, Silas Quinn. You. Sophia Taylor pointed at Silas Quinn, unable to find words. Don't be so surprised, my dear Ms. Taylor. Archie Miller was released half a year before me, so your acquaintance was naturally carefully arranged while you were still in prison. I continued to embellish, my tone growing heavier. By the way, the trending posts and the hiring of people were all paid for with your dollars, and the evidence was also collected with the assistance of Archie Miller. At this moment, I could no longer contain my inner ecstasy and laughed out loud. 3 years ago, when you sent me to prison, did you ever imagine this day would come? For over 1,000 days and nights, not a moment passed without me yearning for this day to come, yearning to be able to stride proudly and stand before you, yearning for your current predicament. Sophia Taylor listened to my words and sank weakly into the chair. Do you hate me that much, Ethan Johnson? How can I not hate you? You betrayed our marriage. You put me in prison. You made me suffer. Tell me, how can I not hate you? My voice trembled with emotion. And don't think you can start over just by moving somewhere else. While I was gathering evidence of your affair, I also collected proof of you bribing prison guards and persecuting Cole Zimmerman. I quietly checked. Your sentence will be at least 5 years. Are you satisfied with that outcome? Sophia Taylor seemed stunned when she heard this, frozen in place. It took her a long moment to recover. Please spare me. Her voice was as faint as a mosquito's buzz. Sorry, I can't, because back then you never intended to spare me either. Sophia Taylor was imprisoned, sentenced to 5 years. Looking back on the time that has passed, I watched with my own eyes as she transformed from a little girl I protected into the person in charge of Taylor Corporation. But I didn't know how a child could have made her turn out like this. Still, she received the punishment she deserved. I walked onto the path where I once saved her. The scene of me protecting her appeared before my eyes. I shook my head. If I had the chance to choose again, I won't walk this path again. That way, I won't have to run into her. I packed everything up and said goodbye to Archie Miller. I wanted to leave this city that had once given me nothing but pain. I don't want the memories of my old age to be a mess of trifles. Ethan, in the days to come, may you meet a good person. I hugged him gently. You too. Then he turned away casually and left. Just as I was about to board the plane, I received a call from the prison. Sophia Taylor wanted to see me. It hadn't been very long since I last saw her, but now she had undergone earth-shattering changes. Visibly haggard, there was no flesh left on her cheeks. I looked at her emaciated figure and felt she probably wasn't doing much better than I was. Ethan, how have you been lately? A name I hadn't heard in a long time. I couldn't even remember how many years it had been since she last called me that. Not bad, and you? By this point, it seemed I could speak to her calmly. Just diagnosed, late-stage stomach cancer. I was a little surprised, but I didn't feel much of anything because I no longer loved her. I didn't know what to say. I couldn't bring myself to comfort her. Seeing my indifference, she curled her mouth in bitterness. It's my fault. We shouldn't have come to this. Forget it. I won't say any more. In the next life, I'll come find you to apologize. After speaking, she immediately turned and followed the prison guard. What is this? Do people speak kindly when they're about to die? I called after her. I've already done all the apologizing. Don't apologize, then don't say it. Ah, hypocrite.